guys? Matt here for Matt's Movie Review. Jumping back into the Stallone zone. Didn't plan on doing a review this quick, but I had some time today to do some reviews, and so I'm going to at least do this one. Of course, you know by the title, we are talking about the 1997 movie Copland, starring Sylvester Stallone, Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Michael Rappaport, a whole slew of different people in this movie. It takes place in the fictional town of Garrison, New Jersey, which is right across the Hudson River from New York City. And it's called Copland because the majority of the residents are NYPD officers. And it kind of is its own little city, its own little town, run by the NYPD that live there. So it's, you know, it's a good place to live because there's no crime, you know, everything's always taken care of. But the bad thing is, behind the scenes, there's a lot of corruption going on because they run the town, but it's almost like they have their own laws and their own way of doing things. They take care of things themselves. Well, they don't have a badge. I will try not to get too deep into this because, you know, for people who haven't seen it, you really do need to see this movie. We'll go into that a little later, but I'll kind of go over the gist of it. Stallone plays a sheriff in the town of Garrison. The town sheriff, his name is Freddie. And he was not able to join the NYPD because he has a bad ear. He tried to save the love interest for him in the movie named Liz. Her name is Liz Randone. She's actually married to another NYPD officer named Joey Randone. But he tried to save her and in the process damaged his ear. I think she was drowning, if I remember right. Jumped in the water. Was it in the water? I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think it was in the water. Yeah, it was in the water. Yeah. I just watched it not too long ago and I spaced on it. Yeah. So he's got a bum ear, so he was not able to get on. So he got the town sheriff, and the NYPD pretty much, you know, all the guys in the town pretty much got him that job. You know. But also giving him that job, there were some things that went along with that. Like, you need to turn a deaf ear, no pun intended, to things we're doing to let us run the town. You take care of little shit, and, you know, we really run the town, but, you know, we gave you this job, and, you know, you're set for life. Just follow the rules. And so he does. And he gets thrown into a situation where he can't just follow the rules anymore, though. And he has to go against his brothers, the people that he looks up to in this town, who he always wanted to beat. There's an incident where Michael Rappaport plays a character named Murray Babbage. He ends up shooting some guys he shouldn't have shot, and there's no way to cover it up, so they decide, Harvey Keitel, who is kind of the leader of the NYPD guys here in Copland, you know, he decides that, hey, he's got to fake a suicide. Murray Babbage has to fake a suicide, fake jumping off the bridge, and you know, that's the way it's going to have to be. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get out of this. Robert Patrick tries to plant a gun in the bad guy's car, but he's interrupted, so he's not able to plant the gun. So they realize through a series of events they're going to have to kill Babbage. Now, Babbage is Harvey Keitel's, who is, let's see, his name is Lieutenant Ray Donovan. He's his nephew. But he realizes he's got to die because, you know, a good witness is a dead witness. You know, when you have somebody that could testify and bring everything down, they just can't take the chance. So fearing that, they want to kill him. He ends up coming, Babbage ends up coming to Freddie, Stallone's character, and basically telling him they're trying to kill him. Ray Liotta is also in the movie. He's a good job. Does a really good job in this movie. He's staying with Stallone. And I can't remember why he was on the NYPD. I can't remember if he was hurt on the job or I can't remember what happened, but he's not working and he's he's going to be collecting a huge insurance check, and he's going to retire and take off. And he's kind of in the middle. You don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. He ends up being a good guy towards the end of the movie, but he's there, and Joey, I'm sorry, not Joey, Freddie is home when Murray Babbage, Michael Rappaport's character, comes to tell Freddie that, hey, they're trying to kill him. He sees Ray Liotta and takes off. So Robert De Niro plays an internal affairs investigator, and he comes to town knowing that there's something up. He's investigating this, and it doesn't make any sense. The suicide, the shooting. He wants to find out what's going on. He knows that this town is corrupt, and he's always wanted to nail these guys, but he never had been able to. There's no evidence, and so he needs Freddie, Stallone's character, to work with him, and Stallone will not. Freddie, sees loyalty to these guys, even though he knows they're corrupt. The town is running fine. He wants everything to remain status quo, and he's not going to give them up, and he basically says no. So De Niro has no choice but to leave, and he goes back. But through a series of events, Freddie realizes that, hey, this has gone on too long, and he's got to go against these guys no matter how much he loves them. He goes back to Robert De Niro to tell him, hey, he's willing to work with him. And there's a good bit of dialogue, and you really feel bad for Freddie's character in the movie, Stallone's character, because Robert De Niro just yells at him. He calls him like a hick sheriff or something, and tells him, you blew it. And so he realizes he's got to take matters into his own hands. He's got to bring in Murray Babbage himself. A, so he's not killed, and 2, so they can clear up everything about the suicide. And even if he gets in trouble, hey, at least it was done right. So he tries to get him out of town. Harvey Keitel, Robert Patrick, another couple guys, they ambush him in the middle of right outside the police station, and they take Babbage because they need to kill him. And they take a gun and they shoot it next to Freddie's good ear. So now he's got 2 bad ears, and there's this ringing. It's it's really realistic. The ringing reminds me, it's like almost silence, but you hear this ringing. I don't know if anybody out there has ever been knocked out before. I have, and it's this ringing in your ear that's like, you almost don't see anything, but you hear this faint ringing. It sounds like it's far, far away. That's what that sounds like. There's no other sounds but this ringing in your ears. And, good bit of acting from Stallone at this point. And he basically gets his shotgun and he goes on foot to the house where they're keeping Babbage because they need to kill him. And basically he has a shootout with him, like the gunfight at the OK Corral. And, I won't give away the end, as if you couldn't figure it out. But, indictments come down and blah, blah, blah. So, you know what? That's basically the plot of the movie. A lot of people may have not seen this movie. Especially newer Stallone fans probably haven't seen this movie with the success of Rocky and Rambo and The Expendables. And we got The Expendables 2 coming out next year and Bullet to the Head coming out. There's a lot of probably newer, younger Stallone fans now that maybe there wasn't before. Everybody knows Rocky and Rambo, but this is kind of a hidden gem. It made $45 million. It only cost $15 million to make. That's a hit, folks. I was under the impression that this movie bombed, but that's not a bomb. When you make $45 million off a movie that only cost $15 million, that's a hit. I mean, that is definitely a hit. So this movie did not bomb. It definitely did not bomb. The critical reaction was really positive. I mean, Stallone received the Best Actor Award from the Stockholm International Film Festival. It was supposed to be the main competition at the Cannes Film Festival, but Miramax declined the invitation due to reshoots that were needed for the film, including footage of Stallone 40 pounds heavier. That's another thing. Stallone gained 40 pounds for this movie. You just don't see that. When's the last time you've seen Stallone out of shape? Ever. So, he really went into this character hardcore. Robert Ebert gave the film really high marks. Gene Siskel praised the movie. He said it was one to be savored. It got really good critical acclaim. Now, when it came to like the Golden Globes Academy Awards, I don't remember what happened there. I don't think it got nominated, but it should have. I mean, it's Sly's best work that he's done, you know, probably since Rocky, and he is constantly put down for not being a good actor. But he is a good actor, and he was a good actor in this movie for sure. Some other interesting history about the movie. John Travolta was actually offered the part of Freddy, and he turned it down. So his loss, our gain, because we get to see a really good performance by Sylvester Stallone. So you know, it's elements of this movie also. It almost feels like a Western. There's a lot of Western feel to it. It's like a Western movie mixed with a mob movie thrown in modern times. It's very, very good. Everybody's good in this movie. The acting is great. The only thing that I wish would have happened is that Liz Randone character, whose husband Joey actually gets killed during the movie. And they kind of set it up to where you know that Freddy really likes Liz and always kind of wanted to be with her, and he always checks up on her and things, but never could be with her because she married Joey. Joey gets killed. So it sets it up for, at the end, where Freddy could have got with Liz, but they never do. And I know people say, well, that happens in every movie. He didn't get the girl, so that's different. But, yeah, you know, Freddy deserved it, because he had a rough time. You feel bad for him in this movie. I don't know if, I wouldn't say he was mentally retarded, but he seems a little slow, like just a tad bit off, maybe. And, so, you know, not dumb, but kind of that small town hick sheriff feel to him, but you feel really bad for him. And I would have liked to seen him, you know, maybe not make out with her at the end, but definitely the last shot of him going to her house and she coming out and giving him a hug, and it fades away like, oh, okay, wow, so maybe he's gonna get the girl after all, and or they show them, you know, walking into a diner, going to dinner, something of that nature would have been cool at the end. But the ending is fine. There's actually a different ending on the, I want to say the director's cut of this movie. It's either director's cut or extended cut, which is also a decent ending, but I like the ending that is in here. It's on Blu-ray. I do have it on Blu-ray. It looks good. It's not amazing. It looks good. Sounds decent. But a really underestimated movie from Sly. So check it out, those of you who haven't seen it. Matt over at Rambo Rap for Life also reviewed this movie, did a great job. But you don't, so I know he liked it, but you don't hear a lot of people talking about this movie anymore. So I just kind of wanted to bring up this one because it's one of Stallone's movies that is really good that nobody talks about. So check it out, guys. Let me know what you think, and we'll be back with more Stallone stuff in the future. Take it easy.